Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are having a good week so far. We are doing very good. Today's a little bit slower, but we are over close to $3,500 in sales this week. We are over $15,000 for the month, and we are getting closer to that $40,000 90-day total, which is amazing. 40, then 50. That is the plan. That is the goal. And we have had some really amazing sales. Today, I am not going to show you those higher dollar. I'm going to show you more bread and butter, $20, $30, $40 sales that will be a little bit easier for you to find items like. And then on Friday, I will show you those higher dollar sales that are out there because they're all my sales that I have found and have sold within the last 2 weeks. So on this video, it's just stuff from this week I'm going to share with you and hope that maybe you have some of this stuff or you can find some of it and it will increase your sales and increase your profit. All right, so here is my sales chart for the last 31 days. You can see today we are at $140, $34.79 for the week. So just $21 shy of that $3,500 point. We are up 67.4% over the last 31 days and at 15,400. So we're almost at 37,000. Again, getting closer to that $40,000 mark. And not long ago, we were at 29,000. So we definitely are improving. I'm very happy with that. And what I am going to do is show you a good sampling of items that have sold in the last week to make up that almost 3,500. Again, though, just kind of the bread and butter and more common items. And I'm also going to show you my Poshmark sales. And unfortunately, Mercari has died again. And I do not have any Mercari sales to share with you today. First up is a really cool piece. This is a retro vintage latch hook rug. It is Jim Henson, Miss Piggy with flowers. I did put Barbie core because she's totally rocking Barbie pink there. And this one I had to take a half off offer. It only sold for $25 and change. So actually I did 55% and it actually took almost 2 years for this one to sell. So I thought this would sell faster, but you have to have a very specific buyer that wants a Miss Piggy latch hook rug. So with some of the more rare one-off items, it can take a little bit longer. So originally, I picked this up for $5 in an online estate auction. I also got a Kermit one. That one sold pretty fast, though. I think Kermit might be a little more popular than Miss Piggy. So this is still about a $12 to $13 profit. Took 2 years. So this is something, if I saw it again, I would not pick it up. Next up is another one that took a 55% off offer to get it sold, and that is a etched Native American Navajo vase, which this one hurts. This is a 4.5-inch seed pot that sold. It took right at a year. It was listed in June last year. It sold for $22.05. I picked this up in a estate lot and I'm about $5 in. So this one again is about a $13, $14 profit. This is one though that I love and I will pick up again because I'm okay with looking at them if it takes them a year to sell. Beautiful piece. There you can see it is signed. This one is from 1996. I think it's I Am Due. I'm not sure. Here you can see very small pot. Beautiful piece, but again, sometimes this stuff can still take quite a while to sell. Next up, definitely watch for these. This one is a Sunb Belt XL women's blue cotton sleeveless summer dress or beach cover up. And that's a really good keyword for some of the dresses that could be used as beach cover ups. This one actually sold in under a month. So a faster seller, sold for 10% off at $22.50. I picked this up at the thrift store for $1. So this one is a $16 profit. Pretty fast. I am happy with a month to sell. And bathing suits, cover ups, things like that. If you have them, I would definitely get them listed ASAP. Next up was another fast sale, and actually a fast sale that surprised me because the sell-through rate was not that good on this blanket. So this one was listed less than a month. It did sell for full price of $24.99. It's a Taylor Swift The Eras Tour soft throw blanket. I did put gift collage design. I got this down south when my sister and myself took the kids down for spring break and went shelling, and the house was cold. It didn't have throw blankets. I figured I would pick something up that I could sell when we got back home, kind of dual purpose. So I did look up the sell-through rate, and again, it looked like they weren't selling that great, but this one sold full price in under a month. I paid $4.99 for this one at Goodwill. So this one is about a $15 profit. And again, under a month, which surprised me. There are a couple of other Taylor Swift blankets with different designs that seem to sell faster, but this one did sell fast for me. Next up is a cute little framed print. This is a raccoon family. I did put cabin, farm life, country core. This one took 4 months to sell, so a little bit longer. I did send 35% off, which was $25.99. I got this at the thrift store for just $2 though, so it is going to be about an $18 profit. And not too bad. 4 months for art that is not branded, not named, I don't think is too bad. And this one's a small one. It is an 8x10. I did put that in my title, so it really didn't take up a ton of space. Next up is a set of 4 Manolo Blahnik white drawstring dust bags. These are for shoes, or they could use them for accessories. This one I accepted a best offer of $21. They were listed about 2.5 months ago, so it didn't take them very long to sell. I actually got these dust bags in an online auction. I am less than $1 into each, so probably about $3 into them. So $13 to $14 profit on these. And you would be surprised. I have been here lately. I actually have found quite a few dust bags at the thrift stores, which I hadn't previously. And I don't know if it's because I wasn't looking for them or what the reason was. So I previously had just found them in online estate auctions and a private buy, but I have been finding them at thrift stores. So keep an eye out for these. And pretty fast sale. I did lot them up in 4. I typically will lot them up in 2 sets of 2 or 4, depending on the value. And with these, I wanted to get over that $20 point, which I did. That's why I did them in a lot of 4 versus 2, and really good sale at $21. Next up is a unbranded, really pretty pearl bracelet. So I put vintage multi-strand freshwater pearl stretch bracelet, Art Nouveau pink rhinestone. This one sold for a best offer I sent out of 10% off. So it sold for $26.99. I got this in an online lot. I am about $2 into it. So it's about an $18 profit, and it sold in under a week. Very fast sale on this one. And I was very happy with that. There were some of these listed higher, but when I tried to find them sold, it looked like they were not selling at that higher price. So that's why I priced mine around the $30 point. Next is another long tail sale. This is a large jacquard white on white floral tablecloth. I did put formal large oblong. It was vintage, 61 by 103. This one took a 55% off offer to get it out of here. It's at $20.47. Got this in a big online estate auction lot. I got bags and bags of linens. So cost into this is probably 50 cents, if not less, making this one about a $15 profit. It was listed in April of last year, so it took about a little over a year and a month and a half for it to sell. And I say this all the time because I love the vintage linen, so you will see me selling them quite a bit, but they are something that definitely can take longer period for it to sell. Another very, very fast sale. This is a set of 2 Pier 1 Imports orange throw pillows, 16-inch. I did put velvet textured. They were indoor, outdoor. These were actually new in the bags when I got them from the thrift store for $2 each. And they sold for a best offer I sent out of 10% off. They sold for $35.99, $36. I am into them $4. So they are about a $25 profit, and they did sell in under a month. Very, very fast sale. You can see here the Pier 1 Imports tag, and these were plain pillows, and they sold fast for $35. So if you're not checking those throw pillows, definitely give them a look when you're at the thrift stores. Watch for indoor outdoor pillows and any really bright designs that you could keyword well. I have done very well with them. However, I do want you to take into account the space that you have, because pillows don't really squish very well, so they do take up a lot of space. I know quite a few sellers will sell them just as the cover, not the insert. So that is something you could do if pillows were something you wanted to sell but you didn't have the space. Next up was another fast sale. This is an Olga by Warner's No Side Effects underwire bra. It was size 36 double D, and it was new. I do pick up used bras occasionally. Lately, though, I've been finding quite a few new bras at the thrift store, and they're only $1, which is nice. This one did sell at full price, again, under a month. So this one is a $19 profit. Bras are something that I have just recently started picking up a little bit more of them. I do check the sell-through rate on these, though, because they're not something I want to pick up and have sit here for years and years. They don't take up a bunch of space, but it's not something I'm interested in and I'm not going to look at. So with bras, I do want to find those that have a faster sell-through rate. Next up is a pair of American Eagle men's burgundy red recycled cotton jeans. These are size 40 by 32. They sold in under a month, and they did sell at full price, $24.99. Another dollar clothing buy from the thrift store, and another $19 profit. So if you are lucky like me and have access to that dollar clothing, I would definitely check it out, because it's nice to take $1, turn it into 19, not as much investment. I personally, my business model is mixing the lower priced items like these with higher dollar sales to get to the point that I want to be. And you have to figure that out for you and your business, exactly what you're wanting to do. If you're only wanting to do high dollar, which means fewer sales but more profit, you can do that. I personally like a mix so that something is always selling. Next up is probably one of my favorite crochet blankets that I have found. This is an Aztec Southwest woven knit colorful throw blanket. It was small, 57 by 64. Did take a year to sell, and it did take a 55% off offer to get that sale. So it sold for $37.80. Got this in an online auction lot for only $3. I really think it was worth that $80 point, but once it's been here a year, you know, I got to let it go, send out that discounted offer, and get my money back and get some better inventory. This is not, I hate saying better inventory when we're looking at this. I think this is an amazing piece, and this is still about a $28 profit, even with that discount. If you can see here, though, very, very tightly woven, and the colors on this are just incredible. And it also had the fringe, and one of my absolute favorite throw blankets that I have found. Next up is another fast sale. This one sold in about a month and a half. This is a vintage MFA monkey brooch, gold tone. It was Museum of Fine Arts. I'm going to show you that MFA stamp. Watch for any of the museum pieces, Smithsonian. I have found scarves. There are also brooches. This one is out of Boston, and it had a 22 karat gold plating. You can see there are literally 100 monkeys. Sold for full price. I only paid $5 for this one. So this one is about a $26 profit. and very, very fast. So there's that MFA stamp in case you do not know. Again, most of the Museum of Fine Arts pieces, whether they are jewelry or textiles, I've done very well with. Next is a really, really cool purse. This is a vintage Bonwit Teller brown patent leather lucite chain handbag purse. I did put zippered. This one took 4 months to sell. It sold for a best offer of $45. I paid $5 for this in an online auction lot. So it is about a $30 profit after fees. And it was in pretty good shape considering the age, especially on the inside here. You can see that Bonwit Teller. And it says made exclusively for, I can't read at the bottom. Excellent condition on this. Oh, there it is, by Nicholas Reich. I don't know if I missed that. I didn't look up that name. I might have undersold myself. But for me, it was a decently fast sale on a handbag at 4 months and a $32 profit. Next up is a beautiful piece that sold very, very fast. This one sold in under a week. It is a turquoise mosaic pendant. It is overlaid over a shell with silver accents. It was a vintage Navajo piece. I got this from an online auction lot for about $5 and again sold very, very fast, about a $35 profit. And here on the back you can see that shell. I will tell you there are some of them that have turquoise as well as coral overlay on the shell. The top half will be one and then the bottom will be another, and they do them on oyster and clam shells. Those can be significantly more valuable, so keep your eye out for those, and I am very happy with this fast sale. Another very, very fast sale. This one sold in under a week. This is a pair of Lily Pulitzer white scalloped hem chino shorts. They were size 16. I did put summer and beach. Sold for full price at $34.99. I picked these up at the flea market, actually from one of you. She said she watched me all the time and recognized me, and I got 2 pair of shorts for her from her for $5 each. This was one of them, and that makes this one about a $22 profit after fees. There you can see the Lily Pulitzer. Some Lily Pulitzer is lower value, so you really have to find the exact piece. $5 though, I would say you're pretty safe to pay for any Lily Pulitzer. But last week I showed you guys a dress that I paid $12, and I've also paid upwards of $20 to $25 for Lily Pulitzer pieces. So just make sure that you're comping apples to apples and the size, because sometimes the larger sizes will sell for a little bit more than the smaller ones do. Next is another fast sale. This is a 420 by Sublime shirt, men's large, blue sun button, short sleeve band music and Hawaiian are the words that I used. This was a fast sale. This one sold in right at a month for full price of $24.99. This was another dollar thrift store buy. So this one's again $19 profit. There is that tag. Large isn't that great of a size for me. I tend to sell the XL and bigger a little bit faster, but this print and color scheme was way too good to leave behind. Yet another dollar thrift store buy. This is a Lands' End women's large blue heather fleece full zip jacket or sweater. So everybody asks, or I get asked quite often, whether you should list jackets and sweaters and things like that during the summer. The answer is yes, because it is still cold somewhere. And if you ship internationally, it is always cold somewhere. So I list items as I get them. I don't list according to season. However, I would prioritize bathing suits and things like that over jackets. This jacket, though, went through all last winter without selling. It took a year to sell and sold for a best offer of $21, making it about a $14 profit. And we, with most of our clothes, will hang them up. We have several closets that we use for storage. This one did have a stain, so that might be what made it take so long, but still a really good profit. This one is a case of just because you like something doesn't mean other people will. I really thought this would sell fast. It's diamond dot art. It took somebody a really long time to make this thing. Beautiful sunflower. It was 14 by 17, so it was a bigger piece. It took right over a year and a 55% offer to get this sold. So it sold for $17.55. I paid, I believe, $3 at the thrift store, and I got 2 of them. I thought they would sell really fast. Diamond dot art does not sell, let me tell you. So do not pick it up. I would pass it by if I saw it again, unless it was something I wanted for my own wall. Beautiful work. If you don't know, these are kits that people get, and they individually place each little one of those dots. And I know several people who do that for stress relief. However, I don't know that I have the time or patience to do one, but I am happy this sold. I learned my lesson. I will not pick any of these up again. Last for eBay before we jump over to the Poshmark sales is this pair of Earl Jeans. These are size 18. These sold for a best offer of $30. They were listed back in August of last year, so about 9 to 10 months for these to sell. And here you can see the pictures, and if you look here, you can see the red on that. That means I got this at the thrift store from their boutique section for $5, and I'm okay with $5 into a $30 sale, making it about a $18 to $19 profit. I thought that they would sell faster with the tag, and I figured that 18 was a good size. They took 9 months, but is still a very, very good profit. And with that, we are going to head over, and I have 4 Poshmark sales that I'm going to show you that were really, really good. First up is something I absolutely love picking up, and you might think I'm crazy, and I might be crazy. This is a vintage Dixie outdoor vinyl picnic tablecloth. It is oblong. I put red checkered in gingham. Sold for $16. Payout was almost $13, but I only paid 50 cents. So this is a $12 profit. And you want to talk about something that's easy to list and ship. A tablecloth in a package is definitely it. And here you can see the photos and an excellent sale over on Poshmark. Next up is a little vintage red orange art glass basket, 7 inches tall. I did put for trinket, jewelry, keys, flower, abstract. Sold for $23. Payout was $16. This is one that I picked up at the thrift store for $3. So it's a $13 profit, and it took forever. So this is not that great. It's not that pretty. And this is another one that I should have left on the shelf, and I will not pick up again. However, if I got one of these in a lot of glass items, I probably would list it. Next up is one that took just shy of a year to sell. This is a Montero 950 silver pendant. It did have a blue fire opal. It was a smaller pendant. It was a 1-inch. It sold for a best offer of $35. Payout was $28 on this one. I paid $5, so it's a $23 profit. This is a vintage Taxco piece. And here you can see the photos. Really, really pretty. It is, again, signed Montero and Taxco. This is one that I thought would sell faster and did not. And this is something I definitely would still pick up because I feel the opal, the 950, the Taxco, maybe my pictures weren't the greatest. That might be one of the reasons why this one took so long to sell. Last for Poshmark is this pair of Hencappy women's Tour de Femme cycling shorts. They were size small. They were padded. These sold for $25. The payout was $20. These were a dollar thrift store buy. If you missed my catch treasure hunting video, I actually cleared their whole rack. It had a bunch of cycling jerseys as well as a few pair of shorts. Quite a few have sold already. We have already paid for all of them that we bought. And each one that sells is just more profit rolling in. So $19 profit. They've been listed right at a month now. You can see the Tour de Femme there on the back. And that was a Florida cycling event. There is a size. And this was a great sale, fast, and we have sold a few of the jerseys as well. All right, that was everything. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know if anything caught you off guard or the length of time it took, whether it was faster than you would think or longer than you would think. If you heard the tape going in the background, Shannon is packing up one of our Whatnot jewelry shows. We actually should be live right now when you are watching this video, doing some amazing sterling silver jewelry. So if you want to head over to Whatnot, come back and see what you can find. Definitely do that. We also will be having a show at some point tomorrow also. So watch for that. We have been finding some amazing jewelry and we are selling at prices where there's room for you to profit on it. Or if you're a collector or it's for yourself, you're going to get a really good deal. I do appreciate you watching. As always, please hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, share with your friends and family if you think that they would be interested. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you on the next one.